Hello dear students, I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will study about the chapter The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. Now dear students, if we look at the title, in the title a word scientist has been written. Now the scientist who has been talked about in this chapter is Richard Everett. So this chapter is a story of a very famous scientist, Richard Everett. His mother used to call him as Richie. He received many awards for biochemistry and molecular biology. His attraction towards butterflies opened the great gates of the world of sciences for him. Now let us have a look into the chapter to see how this curious child who used to collect butterflies went on to become one of the greatest scientists. Now before we start, there are three major characters in this story. The first is Richard Everett himself, second his mother, and the third character is his roommate. On the very first page of the chapter, it has been told that Richard was only 22 years old when he discovered the theory on how cells work. And he discovered this theory with his college roommate. And this theory was published in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. And dear students, it was for the first time that the theory discovered by the students of a college was being published in such a great scientific journal. Further, it has been told that Richard Everett grew up in the north of Reading, Pennsylvania. Now, Reading is a small city here and Pennsylvania is a big state. So, Richard grew up in the city of Reading, which was situated in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, as the city was very small, so there was not much for Richard to do, but he could collect things from that place. So, he started collecting butterflies since he was in kindergarten. Now, it is not that he just only collected butterflies, he collected few other things as well, such as he also collected rocks, fossils and coins, and he became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing all night. It means that he, other than the butterflies, he also collected rocks, fossils and coins, and sometimes he would become an eager astronomer. It means that he would look at the sky for whole night through his telescope. Further, it has been told that from the first he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. Now the driving curiosity here means that his curiosity was the driving force for him. And other than his driving curiosity, he also had a mother who always encouraged him and supported him. Like whenever he required anything at any time, she would always purchase that material for her son. Like she bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipments and helped him in many other ways. Further, it has been told that when Richard Everett, that is Richie, when Richie was in 3rd grade, he lost his father, and since then his mother was his only companion. Now later it has been told that he was a very bright student since childhood. He was good at learning and he would score top grades. Now his mother is telling that by the time Richie was in 2nd grade, he collected all the 25 species of the butterflies found around his hometown. Now if you can see, a box is given on this page. In this box, these are the names of the species and subspecies of the butterflies which were collected by Richard Everett in 6 weeks in the city of Reading in state Pennsylvania. Now after collecting the 25 species of these butterflies, Richie thought that this was the end of his butterfly collection. But one day his mother bought him a book, The Travels of Monarch X. This book told how monarch butterflies migrated to Central America, and that opened the world of science for him. Richard started reading that book, and when he came to the end of the book, he saw that readers were invited to help in the study of the migration of butterflies, and they were asked to tag the butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. This scholar, Dr. Frederick, was a researcher of the University of Toronto, Canada, and he was doing his research on the migration of the butterflies, for which he needed the help of the readers, and he asked the readers to help him by tagging the butterflies. By tagging the butterflies means to put a tag on their wings. So very soon Ebreed started doing that. He started attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of monarchs. Monarchs is the species of a butterfly. Now he decided to raise a flock of butterflies. For this, what he did was, he caught a female monarch butterfly, took her eggs and raised them in his basement, and while doing that he observed their life cycle from egg to a caterpillar, then to a pupa, and finally to an adult butterfly. And later, when they would become butterflies, Ritchie would tag the butterfly. He would tag the wings of those butterflies. Now for several years, the basement of his house was home to the thousands of monarchs butterflies. But very soon he realized that this task is very tedious, it is very tiring, because it is not very easy to catch the butterflies and to put a tag on the butterflies and to recapture them to see how much distance they have travelled. Further, it has been told that when Ritchie was in 7th grade, he participated in a county science fair, and in that science fair he prepared slides of frog tissues which he showed under a microscope. But he lost in that science fair, and after losing he realized that winners had tried to do real experiments, not simply make a neat display. So he also decided that he will start working on real experiments, but for that he needed some suggestions. So for suggestions, he wrote to Dr. Urquhart. Now Dr. Urquhart is that same scholar who was doing a research on the migration of the butterflies. He wrote to that scholar, and Dr. Urquhart replied to him. So there came many suggestions for Ritchie. Now when he was in 8th grade, for his project, he decided to find out the cause of a viral disease that was killing the monarch caterpillars. For this research, he thought that the disease might be carried by a beetle. Beetle is an organism. Now, to prove this research, what he did was, he started raising the caterpillars in the presence of the beetles. After doing that, he found out that it was not so, that the caterpillars were dying because of the presence of the beetles. So he showed it in his result that he had tried the experiment of raising the caterpillars in the presence of the beetles, and he won in that. Further, in the next year, he again participated in that science fair, and for that science fair, his project was to test the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. Now, the word viceroy and the word monarchs, these two are the species of the butterflies. Okay, so his theory was to find out whether viceroy butterflies copy monarch butterflies or not. So, what he found out in his research was that the viceroy butterflies would copy monarch butterflies because the two look similar, And Viceroy Butterfly did not want it to become a bird's dinner, so it would copy the monarch butterfly. And this project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the county science fair. Now further, when Richie was in the second year of his high school, he began his research, and for this research, indirectly, he found out the theory on the life of cells. Now actually the question was very simple, for which he was looking for an answer. The question was that what is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? Monarch is the species of a butterfly, and on the pupa of that butterfly, what is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold dots or spots? Now everyone believed that these spots were just ornamental. It means that they were just for decoration purpose. But Ebreet found out that these spots would produce a hormone, and that hormone was very necessary for the full development of a butterfly. So he found out in his research that the spots on the back of a monarch pupa were not just ornamental, they would produce a hormone that was very necessary for the development of that butterfly. And for this research, he stood first place in the country fair, and he made an entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won the third place, and he also got a chance to work in the laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. And after that, he kept on working with advanced experiments and in the advanced laboratories. He kept working hard with the advanced experiments in the advanced laboratories, and once, after a year and a half later, when he was working in a laboratory, he was looking at the X-ray of the photos of the chemical structure of a hormone. He was looking at an X-ray of the chemical structure of a hormone, and when he was looking at that chemical structure, he found that the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. We all must have heard about the word DNA, which means deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. Now the structure is that inside the cell there is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there is a DNA. So with that, the cell can read the blueprint of DNA, and DNA is the blueprint of life. To prove that the theory discovered by Richard Ebreet and his roommate James R. Wong, they both kept working hard. They both kept on drawing pictures and constructing plastic models whole night, because this theory was a great stepping stone in their life. And his high school research on the purpose of the spots of a monarch pupa led him to the theory about cell life, and such a theory would bring new ideas for the preventive measures for diseases like cancer. And then further, it has been told that Richard was interested in science since he was in kindergarten, since he first started collecting butterflies when he was in the city of Reading. And it is not that he was only interested in science. In fact, he became a very good speaker, a very good debater, and a good canoeist, and he was an all-rounder personality. Then further, it has been told about his professor, Mr. Wierer, that he was not interested in winning. He was more interested in learning, because of which he could work on that theory in such a small age. And Richard had all of the ingredients which are required for the making of a perfect scientist, be it the first-rate mind, curiosity, or the will to win. So these were the reasons because of which Richard was able to become such a great scientist, that he had a first-rate mind, he had curiosity, he had the will to win. And Ebreet had all these qualities, and from the time the book The Travels of Monarch X opened the world of science to him, Richard Ebreet was never lost. has never lost his scientific curiosity. So we can say that it was this book, The Travels of Monarch X, which brought a great change in his life, which led the research of on a monarch pupa to the theory about cell life. So that's all about the chapter, The Making of a Scientist. And we all can get to know from this chapter that why Richard Everett was able to become such a great scientist. First, the turning point in his life when his mother gave him that book, The Travels of Monarch X, which aroused his curiosity and interest in the field of the science, in the collection of the butterflies. And second was that he had a great zeal and zest. He had that strong will, due to which he always kept on learning and he never looked back. Thank you.